Hey folks, welcome to the channel. Today we've got something exciting. We are starting our little lake restoration project, which is so far down the list we shouldn't be starting it, but we want to start it. So Joe and I are going to go down, clear access, ready for this team next week, but more about that in a minute. We're going to get the gear ready. Safety first, I think everything's in there. Chainsaw trousers, I think gloves are in the truck. Got 2 strimmers, which I've just tested, they're all up and running. And then annoyingly, just been out, I didn't want to use Amazon, didn't want to order online last night. I thought, oh, what I'll do is I'll go to the local machine place. Did they have 18-inch chains? No, they didn't. So I think this one hit barbed wire last year and I've given it a quick sharpen up, but hey, we're only cutting willow, it should be alright. It might be time for the budget waders. We have definitely forgotten something in there, but we might be able to make a start. Got your safety wellies on?
Yeah, and my pyjama pants that Tom doesn't like.
Right, we've come up to the kind of top of the field, looking down at the lake. This is a bit of a before shot. We've got the wrong lens on the camera to show you in detail, but you can see how much it's overgrown. All of that weed is covering maybe 80% of the surface of the water. So we're going to drive up, try and flatten a bit of it with the truck, and then we'll have to strim a passageway in. If you look down there, shall I show on the camera? Here is the island on the right, here's the bank. That should be about 4 times wider, but that is blocked now by 2 willow trees, and that's what we've got to get to. Now we've got to find, where's the brambles? The barbed wire there. And where do we need to get in? I think it's to the left of this alder tree. Here. Right, we might have made our first error of the day. This isn't where we needed to trim, but we've got a little access in now. So we cleared through. We found ourselves a little glen. I thought it was around here. That willow has toppled in, but not enough. Well, it does need to go at some point. But the big one, this is quite a task. The thing is, we could cut just some, as long as we can get a boat past it.
Come on then, Max.
So all of this stuff we can clear back. I mean, willow will just shoot back next year.
Flies everywhere.
Flies?
Yeah.
But this is the route. It's probably 600, 700 wide. I've been across it, but not all the way across. Because it goes up, doesn't it, at the end?
I don't know. Oh, that one does.
Well, that went okay. The only thing I was worried about is the weight of that holding the tree straight, and the whole thing could have rolled. Didn't happen. Didn't undercut first, so it didn't trap the saw. The only thing that did happen is, because it's so packed full of water, I guess, this willow, it's splitting really easy, so the top bit split up, but it was fine. So that's dropped in. I don't want to be climbing up there and trying to limb them up there. So what I'm going to do is just drop all 3 of those big trunks down, and then I'm just going to have to cut them up into manageable pieces whilst either in the water or on them and drag them through here. All this stuff here, which is just small saplings, Joe's going to take up, stack up, and somehow we'll get that back up to the goats. They'll love that. Exhibit A. Oh, now it's hanging in the trees. Just what we wanted.
I actually can't smell it, which is unusual for me, but okay, go on then, Tim.
Oh, I'm really wet now.
Is it warm? I was gonna.
No.
You said
Oh, well, it's warmer than the brook.
yeah.
Oh yeah, it is boiling. So long. So we need this one out, don't we?
Yeah. It means the one who's walking along. Oh dear.
That slippery log competition they have.
They turn it, don't they? To run
Hey?
They turn
I know.
the lobby.
That could be next year. Okay. So is that the one we've just cut?
Yes.
Wow, there's more to this tree than I thought.
Yeah.
And that's the
Oh,
other
Maggie,
one.
stop it.
So can I lift that whole tree? And
No.
plonk it in?
Well, we'll see, I guess.
I really want to, because it just means it's going to be in the water.
What do you need to say about yourself?
I don't think it'll break my legs.
Look at those legs. Different colour, and you shook within half a metre of me.
Oh, I didn't quite shear. So really, all those limbs we should have tried to take off first. But... Yeah, see? How easy is that now? If I could actually float it. It's good. I do have a little Makita chainsaw which I think has got a 14-inch bar on it. It's really lightweight. That would be perfect for the stuff in the water, the small limbs. But for some reason I just can't, the chain bogs down, and like I had it running absolutely fine without the bar on this morning, and the chain's all pretty much new, so I don't know what it is. It's almost as if there's too much resistance on the chain, and I've tried changing tensions, and anyway, we'll stick with what we know, and that's this machine. Apart from that, I think we're good to go. I'm now thinking we get in here, which is real swampy, because that's the opening that goes out to the main part of the lake. If we can clear that, then we can potentially pull any floating logs that way, and with the boat we can pull them somehow. Right, the waders were breached. I'm soggy. So what I've done is I've cleared a load of the branches over onto the island because I figured they'll just dry down. We could have a fire on there in the autumn, or we can just leave them to be. And the logs I'm trying to float out now. So let me show you where I'm at with the other side. What I'm trying to do is make sure we get as much out as possible, because the willow, if you leave the tiniest branch in, it will just shoot into another tree. And what's happened is this huge tree has fallen down, and there's two big limbs, huge bits of trunk underwater, and that's what's sending up a lot of the shoots. So there's probably another one similar size to this under there. That's what I've been standing on some of the time, which is not good because it's not going to get out at all. So that's the one we might just have to leave in there. Now this looks worse than it is. This is all bushy stuff, but it's all cut. So I'm going to see if I can pull a lot of this out by hand. I don't have a winch, don't have anything apart from elbow grease. Dog. Note to self, that pocket's not waterproof. My phone was in there. Right, we're back on our splashy fun down here, prepping up the lake for tomorrow. Tomorrow is when the guys arrive with their amphibious boat thingamajig with the giant rake on it. They're going to clear the water, but we need to clear everything above the water and the banks. So Joe's gone down the far end, she's going to strim the banks, because what has to happen, I don't know if I explained this earlier in this video, is that when they take all of the weeds and everything that are on the surface or below the surface, they lift them up. They then need to put them somewhere, so they need to put them up onto the bank, and they kind of, I guess they pile them up along the bank. We then have to leave them there for a couple of days for any little critters to make their way back into the water, and also for the water to drain out of it to make it more manageable for us to load onto trailer or trailers or whatever to put somewhere, or spread it or whatever we're going to do with them. Anyway, that's all for tomorrow. What I need to do is carry on. I'm going to get straight back in here, see if I can start getting some of these bigger logs out. Probably a mixture of logging them out and cutting them down there into smaller pieces, and hopefully we won't have to pull them out with the truck. Of course, I forgot my camera. It's on the other side of the bank and I'm not going, so here's on the phone. I'll give you a little bit of a look from the other side. We're getting somewhere, and behind me, sometime soon, a local Gloucestershire lady will row her boat round. So here's the main tree. The big limbs are kind of either down or lopped up into bits. It's all of these sections here which I'm trying to pull out, because while the boat might be able to get some of them out, any that are missed, the tiniest pieces, will just set roots like this and become future pain in the backside. So all of it's got to come out, and it just stinks. It's like some sort of anaerobic compost heap under there. You're rowing backwards, aren't you?
Yeah, I just got caught in gear and it was in a circle.
Help yourself to a log or two. I'm checking up on here stuff that could burn in the autumn or something like that. And then anything bigger I'm doing in the next little bay, which we can dry and cut for firewood. You what, sorry? Okay.
So you can see I've done the hard task of bringing the boat round. So my manslave here is getting all the logs out, and I'm going to have that really heavy task of rowing the heavy boat back to shore.
You hero.
And I probably won't even get the logs out the other end.
You're not even having to row, I'm just pushing you.
Hey, no, I'm your stability. Whoa, careful.
Stability, you're powering me over.
I'm not doing anything, my oars are up. We thought this would be the best way rather than Tim, because it's so sludgy, Tim having to walk to one side with the logs like some kind of muscle man. This would be a bit more efficient. Plus I fancied a row in the boat. Does look something like out of a
horror movie, swamp dog. Look at all these. They're just...
Ooh! That was
there's
close.
half a tree right under my feet. That's why I'm so high here.
I would not let our children swim in here.
No. Not until we've drained the whole thing and dredged it. Chlorinated it. Maybe just getting a decent
Pump.
fountain with aerate.
Yeah, definitely.
It's spring fed, but this end has never flown. Well, hasn't flown since that's fallen in. Now it should flow. Because
the
spring is perpetual, and so is the
drain.
So is the inflow, yeah. Hello, log dog.
Well done, loads. Look at all this firewood.
Yeah, but we just
in 4 years it will be ready.
10 years to dry it. Because they're not.
It's quite steep, isn't it?
Yeah, but we can stack them behind the stump. They'll dry all right then.
Yeah, no, but will they not roll back in?
No. It's all in the stacking, isn't it?
Last one. Well done.
Oh, I don't know how much it looks different, but I promise you it is different. We've managed to get out most of the big limbs now. There's all these. There's about 3 times the number over on that side. So this is just about manageable now with the boat. Joe came and collected the logs, as you saw. We piled them up over here and some over on the island. And basically, all of this stuff here is just loose twigs and it's not connected to anything. So I'm hoping they can deal with that tomorrow. This I just haven't got involved with. They can get past it. But a lot of that is trees growing out at an angle, so we'll have to do that ourselves. Right, Joe's been strimming the other end. I'm going to go and do that. She's going to get the drone, and then hopefully we can get some before shots while we remember. So that was a couple of days of hard graft to get those bits all cleared out the way and then ready for the pros to come in and do their bit. Now this is a one-off thing. We're going to just take the plunge and pay a team to come in with this special boat, because we tried bits by hand last year and it just simply is a pretty thankless task clearing all this weed. And it's also the deep down stuff that hopefully they're going to get a good amount of it out without us needing to go to the extent of dredging this lake. So fingers crossed everything goes to plan, and in the next video we'll be sharing with you the big bit of kit that's going to come and do all of its thing. Thank you to all of you for watching. I hope you're enjoying all the different projects at the moment. I know it's a varied bag. We've still got the cabin going on in the background. We've got the farm shop kitchen type project going on, and then of course all the stuff around the farm. Now we've got a huge fencing project going on at the moment as well, and if you haven't caught up with that, we'll be putting that on the DIY farm channel, and if you want to see it, then follow the link down in the description. Thanks for watching, guys. Remember, if you can, do it yourself, and we'll see you next time.